Welcome to today's deep dive. So we're looking at a product specification page from HDTV Supply today, specifically for their WolfPack 4K 30 Hz 2x2 video wall system.
Yeah, which is a bit of a mouthful, but it's a fascinating piece of tech.
It really is. I mean, have you ever wondered how complex it is to actually stitch four TVs together into one massive 4K image? Like the ones you see in sports bars or malls or huge conference rooms?
Right, because usually getting that kind of flawless stadium-style display requires this massive, incredibly expensive control room.
Exactly. But our mission today is to demystify that technology because commercial AV distribution is getting shockingly accessible. We're going to find out if this system, which costs, $1,449.95, is truly as plug-and-play as it claims.
It's a bold claim for sure, but when you look at the spec sheet, you start to see how this hardware shifts from being highly specialized to something almost anyone can set up.
Yeah, and to understand that, I think we need to start with the physical setup, right? Just looking at how the system actually links the screens together.
Well, getting video data to 4 different places and keeping it perfectly synchronized is always the first major hurdle.
Because, if those 4 screens are out of sync by even a millisecond, a football thrown across the center of the wall is going to look physically severed in half.
Exactly. So instead of a massive traditional video processor, this system sends one 4K source to 4 screens using HDMI over a local area network, or a LAN.
Right, okay, let's unpack this. It's like a digital nervous system. So the transmitter is the brain, the included 10-port gigabit IP switch is the spinal cord, and then the 4 receivers are kind of the muscles at each TV.
That is a great way to put it. And they can reach up to 400 feet using standard CT6 cables. But what really matters here is why this LAN-based design is used.
Because it distributes the processing power, right?
Yeah, exactly. Instead of relying on one massive, expensive PC to process everything, the processing is distributed across those receivers.
Which means much higher uptime. Like if one receiver goes down, your whole video wall doesn't just go dark.
Right, you just swap out that single small part so the network stays online. It's totally decentralized.
That makes so much sense. But, okay, getting the hardware physically connected across hundreds of feet is one thing. How do you actually control the image so it doesn't look like a funhouse mirror?
That all happens through software. Specifically, it uses a web GUI, which means control is entirely browser-based.
So just through Google Chrome?
Yep, just Google Chrome. You don't have to install any heavy custom software. From there, you can mathematically correct for the bezels, those thick plastic frames around the TVs, so the picture flows naturally behind them.
Oh, that's incredibly smart.
And it even supports 180 and 270-degree image rotation, plus cropping.
Which you definitely need if you're mounting the top TVs upside down, right? Just to keep the thinnest bezels touching in the middle. But wait, hold on. The specs also mention built-in scalers.
They do, yeah.
Wait, so I can use an older 1080p TV right next to a brand new 4K screen without the picture distorting?
Yeah. What's fascinating here is that the scaler acts like a tiny internal translator. It automatically downscales the 4K feed to 1080p for the older screen.
Oh, wow. So you don't even have to buy 4 identical new displays. That saves serious money.
Exactly. And the long-term adaptability is just as impressive. They say setup takes under an hour, but you aren't locked into just a 2x2 layout.
Right, here's where it gets really interesting. It's not just a static giant screen. It's totally modular.
Right, it's field expandable up to an 8x16 video wall. Or by buying more transmitters, you can turn it into a matrix.
And a matrix means you can show 4 different sources at once, like 4 DirecTV receivers for 4 different football games.
You got it. And to top it all off, they include free lifetime phone support from California.
Which really speaks to who this is for. It empowers, like, a local sports bar owner to manage enterprise-level AV without having to hire an entire IT department.
It completely democratizes the technology.
It really does. Commercial AV is clearly no longer locked behind these impossible-to-operate processors. Networked video distribution is basically the new standard now.
Absolutely, whether you're upgrading a factory floor or just building the ultimate home theater.
Yeah, which leaves us with this to ponder. If massive video distribution can scale infinitely over simple internet cables with built-in scalers doing all the translation, what happens when every single wall in our homes becomes a potential modular connected screen?